Hello, fellow sages. Sage for Sagan here, and today we're talking about the Final Faction Episode 2, and there will be spoilers. So, we're also going to talk about speculation about the toy line as well as what happens in the episode. So, as always, they're hanging out at the beginning of the episode with the crew, having some snacks. Really think it'd be smarter if Dollar Tree branded some sort of snacks that they sell. But okay, like Steadfast could have been making ices that were Steadfast ices or something, or Final Faction ices. Amari, of course, looking cool. Boyd, I didn't know his chair was really a hover chair that hovered around. I thought he just got in that chair to do the ACRM and basically, had a regular chair the rest of the time. So that's interesting to see. I just thought these guys look funny, that it'd be a meme or something later people will be using for video games and stuff. They are, of course, stealing ice and taking it up to the moon because they need the resources. They don't have water on the moon, at least not much. And, of course, when the team shows up, they drop these pods and get a new Aero ATV and these cool little walking gun situations. Funny thing is, they look a lot like the ones that the Corps put out, and they recently were reissued in the Aliens line. These like walking turrets. I mean, that's about how they would always look if they're walking turrets, a tripod or walking turret. But it's kind of funny that they did put them out recently. Aero ATV got the Arctic upgrade with some treads and some different armor bits and stuff, though the guns on it do look the same. They do show a grenade launcher in this episode. And, of course, you see that they got some flying guys and some guys that ride on the Aero ATV, which is cool. I hope that there's a place for figures to stand on that, or Aero ATV like that, in the actual, when it actually gets released. I know they have a front, someone can ride in the front and someone can ride in the back. Of course, the newer characters besides Amari, who didn't come on the mission because she just got back from one, did get kind of like title cards like the previous episode. Riptide, got a little action moment where he took some guys out that had fallen in the water. And, of course, Scope had got a sniper shot moment. Torn got to do some cool little fighting. And that's when they do their title card, is right when they're in the middle of action, taking somebody down, typically. Though Kreptis did get a title card, they didn't show him take anybody out this time. And that's partly because he was fighting... He was on the moon base, and so he can't necessarily, be taking one of the team out. It would be cooler if they did show him take out some of the drone, at least some of the mechs or something. Anyway, Kreptis hatches a plan to go ahead and kidnap Sergeant Steadfast so that they can capture Torn, since Torn is a fugitive from the Karn. They get to show these walkers that we've seen before. These are a little cool. I didn't know they had these lasers, and I'm sure I've seen it before, shoot lasers, but they really weren't very much in the last episode where you could see what they were doing very well. Big important thing about this episode is that Sergeant Steadfast says that sooner or later we're going to have to come into balance or come to terms with the the Karn, because they need our resources and we need the moon because it would affect our tides and all sorts of craziness if we lost the moon. Now, that could mean a third enemy could show up in the future episodes, and that would be cool to change up. Like, once they get the Queen and they get all the Karn bad guys out, like all the different drone models and stuff out where we could actually buy them, to have a new enemy that's completely different looking would be kind of cool. If they're like coming from space and maybe a threat to both of us, that would be kind of cool, where we have to turn around and work with our enemies some, but we still maybe fight some. So, big important scene here is this guy with the grenade launcher shoots at the guys, the team. They don't really show what happens, but later on in the episode, they show that Churro is out of the mech suit. And they show that, they don't show the ACRM again in this episode. So I'm thinking the ACRM may have been damaged or destroyed, and they may have to make a new one. Churro's mech may have been damaged in some way. We know that later on, fighting Diablo, Diablo, I think this is how you say his name. Diabol. Anyway, we know that Steel gets his wingsuit messed up. And the reason that's important is when they decide to kidnap Sergeant Steadfast, they're taking up on the space elevator. If they had any of their flying characters that could actually fight, then we'd be seeing some problems where basically they couldn't go they could just fly up and save them. Now, the other cool thing is like they didn't show any of the new accessory packs being used in this. So that means that maybe those accessory packs are being made so that they can do the rescue mission for Steadfast or something of that nature. Anyway, if you like this video, like, comment, and subscribe, and pour on the plastic.